Final Fantasy XVI has some of the best drip that I have personally been extremely attached to in like a really long time. I love how like natural and yet medieval the whole theming is. Like it's just beautiful and has that touch of fantasy in it. Oh. With us living in an era of like top-notch graphics, you know what they say, with great gaming graphics comes great costuming detail. Something like that. This is Drip Watch, Final Fantasy XVI edition. This will have spoilers, you have been warned. Also, I just want to note that as we go through these characters, I want you to pay attention to belts. Because as we all know, belts in Final Fantasy continue to be... they're something, alright. We will start with our protagonist, Clive Rosfield. Yes, this outfit is supposed to be Clive Rosfield inspired. I tried. We're gonna start from the very beginning, and I mean the very beginning. Baby Clive, your tutorial loving Clive. First off, you notice that Clive and Joshua are wearing the same ear cuffs. I love the brotherly ear cuff. I want one. I think you can actually buy one in the Square Enix store now. Anyway, moving right along. His little baby pouch in the back makes me laugh because like, bro, what the fuck can that even hold? Honestly though, I just really admire the simplicity of this outfit for Clive starting out in the game. He's a little bit more royal, but like he's still a soldier. I think the skin tightness really helps there. And it also brings a stark contrast to when he grows up and then he gets all And as with every character that we're gonna look at in this video, you have the belt treatment. Not bad on the belt treatment. Personally, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10, because why? What if I told you, Final Fantasy, that you don't need the belts? Alright, so now we have the mid-Clive, is what you start off with in the game for a very brief moment as he is a soldier. The little red in there is so nice, and for him being a slave, they were really nice to give him this outfit because like, he has more red than anyone else. To resemble Rosario, so like, go Clive, get him. And also, I do have to mention like the side skirt on his left side. As soon as I saw it, I just immediately thought of Cloud from Advent Children. Clive is Cloud, confirmed. So now we get to the main outfit. Hello, Dorito! Twonk, hello. We're gonna start at the top with the cape. I think that Clive would look better without the cape. I don't think he needs it. Just seems so impractical. Ditch the cape, I hate the cape. And also, I actually do have a picture in the Final Fantasy art book right here. Look at the back without the cape. Isn't this just like so nice? The collar is at least functional, kind of. You got the cross belt under the armpit to like mount the sword on the back and like hold the weight on the left side. It's folded down over it, and I'm sure underneath on the left shoulder it's also stuck there somehow because like that's a lot of weight. But hey, it's fantasy. We don't talk about how Clive can't even pull his sword out in that position. Don't worry about it. Also, small little details that you'll want to note. The shoulder seam that he got going on here is the same seam that is on the front of his shirt and also on the front of his pants. But let's just get to... if you are not staring at his chest.
The NPC enemies will be like, get the hot one with the fat tits and broody bedroom eyes. And I'll know they're talking about Clive and not Jill.
You are not human. The audacity of the designer to put seam lines that go in a V formation to make him look like a freaking Dorito. So they purposely put those seam lines similar to what corsets do to make the Dorito look. The lace on the side is also super questionable, but it's also extremely attractive, so I genuinely don't care. I love the color usage of the nice black and red combo. I love the motif on the emblem of the belt. The gauntlets, oh my god, they are gauntlets. The pants, moving on down to the skin-tight pants. They have no right to be that tight, sir. I do love the leg and the arm armor. The shapes match, they complement each other well. And the motif emblem matching the knees and the elbows, we love that. The only thing I will say that it's a little jarring to have like a brown belt color. Just make it red. Or honestly, I'd just go even like black. Another thing that I'll point out is the pattern on his leg armor. If you look at like the shape of it, it's actually the same exact pattern that Joshua wears in his boots. Really cool thing there. Metal heels, interesting choice. I think Clive could probably be a tap dancer in his life too. So seeing young and old Clive side by side here, you can kind of see that the color scheming difference is flip-flopped. I like that little touch. And to wrap up Clive, we have to talk about the belts. Clive gets a 8 out of 10 for a nice thick main belt that like splits into 2 different ones on his left hip, okay? 2 points off for like the thin belt around his waist that has nothing to do with anything, and I honestly feel like it just doesn't need to be there at all. You don't need it, sweetie, take it off, 8 out of 10. Alright, so let's move on to Joshua, who is like one of my favorite characters. He's my second favorite character. I love this boy so much. So starting off with like little baby Joshua, he's just so cute. I just want to pinch his little cheeks. He's so cute. All right, I love his doily at the top. It's like so silly, but I still like it, even though it's a really silly thing to put on you. The tie is interesting. I know his outfit is like supposed to represent the phoenix, but it kind of reminds me of like an Ifrit / Phoenix cross. I know it's just the emblem of Rosaria, but still, it comes across a little bit differently, at least to my eyes. He got like a tiny Rosaria embroidery just on the left side of his neck too, but not on the right. It's just over here. And also on young Clive's outfit, he also has the emblem on his left side of his neck as well. I like to think that they put it only on the left side because it's like closer to your heart. I don't know. Take with that what you will. The embroidery on the left thigh is a really nice touch. The blue in the pants that ties together are both like with Jill's beads and also some Brex slightly, which we will get to. This will come up a lot later. But the only thing I'm not a fan of with this outfit is like the extra fabric bit at the ankle of the boots that I mentioned before. I noticed it's the same exact pattern. I don't know why. It's nice though. This is robe Joshua. But okay, those 2 extra like layers at the shoulder seam, I just love it for no reason, so I'm gonna point it out to you so that you can love it too. That's all. Bye. Moving on to based Joshua. Oh god, I can't extend my arms too much. I love the vibe that this outfit gives off. The scarves, like the top, really speaks to like a wanderer traveler vibe, but they have like a certain air of nobility to them. Fashion designers here, character designers here, you did a fantastic job with Joshua. I think more than most other characters, because you get so much story and so much personality out of this guy just by looking at his outfit. And that's good fashion and character design. Since he's wearing a lot of layers up top, we're gonna break it down layer by layer. Starting with the black base of the shirt. The inside red lining is so fierce, but so pretty. I love it. Mwah. There's a beauty in simplicity, and I think that Joshua's outfit is like the perfect representation of simplicity and beauty. Like, I look at Joshua here, and this is honestly such a breath of fresh air. All right, so above the black base shirt that he's wearing, this piece represents his father's outfit from the very beginning of the game, Elwin. So I'd like to think that he carries a little bit of his father everywhere with him and Joshua, but that's what that second layer is. The third layer on top is the dark blue, and it is not connected on the sides. It's literally just like a square fabric just with a hole in it, just put over top so you have like a triangle in the front and back. It kind of reminds me of like some Brex design and the color if you look at it really closely. Now the fourth layer is the black tight drape, which you find similar to Clive's top. You kind of can see that his shoulder mimics Clive here. Don't know if that's supposed to be intentional there, but that's what I think. The fifth top layer is my favorite because I found out a secret thing that I'm gonna share with you right now. So the fifth top layer is shredded and dirtied around the back. You're like, this doesn't feel like Joshua to wear like this raggedy red scarf on top. But I want you to take a look at Sir Wade. This is the exact same scarf. It is called the Guardian's scarf. The description is, it is a symbol of trust, loyalty, and undying friendship. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the duchy cannot die. And this is given and now displayed in Clive's chambers in the game after you receive it. But this is the exact same scarf that Joshua is wearing. I knew it had to have meaning because it stands out so much in his outfit. I really like the idea that every layer of Joshua is a layer of something that means a lot to him. You have the base layer that's like his base self. Then you have the second layer of his father, the third layer of Sanbreque, the fourth layer of Clive, and the fifth layer of the people of Rosaria. And that is good fashion design. Now we gotta talk about the belt. Nice single belt there you got, Joshua. Seriously, I actually love that he gets one realistically useful belt that is practical to the design instead of just for fashion. Even more based Joshua means that he has the best design in the whole game. He is one of the very few that do not get the double belt treatment, and you worked it, especially with like the beads hanging off of him, like, yes. Sombrec beads, by the way. I'll just like, sombrec beads. The cloth on the front as well that hangs around his hip, I don't see a match in like the printed designs, but the colors with like the green and blue tassels on the bottom are both sombrec shades. I'm sticking with the idea that maybe it resembles that area of the game and Martha a little bit. I don't really know though. If you have any ideas for what that like cloth is that he wears down here with this like diamondy pattern, let me know what you got, like the zigzaggy pattern. Let me know. If there's anything in Joshua's outfit that are just there for no reason, it's this thin blue belt around his right thigh. And you wanna know what makes me really angry? The fact that in the art book, Joshua's original design didn't have it. They added that belt in at the last minute. I was so mad. The last thing I'll point out that I find extremely adorable is that all of the laces that Joshua wears on his outfit are all sombrec blue as well. Just Joshua is a very cute character, especially looking at his outfit in greater detail. Makes me love him even more. Next in the art book is what I would like to call an over-designed mess that I used to enjoy until I really started to look at it. Jill!
She's aight.
But first we're gonna look at the young version of Jill from the beginning of the game. This young Jill is my favorite version of Jill. Honestly, I love how simple the outfit is. I'm not really sure if the underbust corset really works for her. I kind of don't like that part, but besides that, it's cute. But I also want to mention the beads. Man, her and Joshua sure do love those beads. And then the necklace centerpiece, I think is like supposed to be a like Shiva tear to kind of represent that a little bit, part of her. Somehow her slave outfit like still has some blue on it. Like that was really nice of the Iron Kingdom to like give her this nice blue outfit to kind of represent Shiva. They didn't have to do that, but dang, they are really nice. Overall, I really like that the use of fur in the game is to represent the Iron Kingdom, but I just want to quickly mention that the belt is not connected in the back. Like, look at a back picture of the slave outfit. It has a belt on the sides connecting, but like the back, where are you? So this is Jill's main outfit for what we know her as. I do like her outfit for the most part, but after really looking at it in detail, I do think that it's over-designed. So like she wears a nice white undershirt. It's very beautiful, very elegant. The collar hugging her neck is gorgeous. One of my favorite parts about this outfit is like how the center seams from the vest and the white top, like it comes together in like a really pleasant V that just like points into each other. It's really, really elegant and beautiful. Let's just talk about like the top blue shirt part of the shirt, the vest part. It's nice, but it doesn't really do anything for me. Like artists out there, you guys know what I mean whenever I say like something doesn't really like speak to me, because that's what this piece really is. I'm also not a fan of this like thin blue belt underneath of the chest, but like I also realized if it wasn't there, it kind of would look a little bit more awkward. But the only other blue of this shade on the outfit is in her collar, and she got just like a lot of shades of blue going on in this outfit in general, and I can just hear my cosplayer friends just like crying in the corner over that, because like I feel your pain, dude. And then she has like this really weird design put into like underneath her left boob. Like I see the Shiva resemblance there, but like I actually don't know what this is supposed to represent. I kind of just want it to go away. All right, so moving on down, we have the sideways belt, which, as much as I don't like Jill's outfit that much, the belt is kind of cool. The belt going from like the blue to the white being laced together, like, oh, genius. Hello, I really love that. And then you have like the chainmail underneath of that. Function? No. Pretty? Yes. And then to finish it off, you have like a little white frilly, I just call them frillies, like frilly at the bottom. You got a white frilly at the bottom. It's pretty. Also, quickly, I just want to mention that she has like a holster in her back, like right here, and it's like really pretty and ornate, and it's to hold the other sword, but like it doesn't go with the rest of the outfit, and I just wish it was kind of plain instead of having something ornate on it. It's a bit too much at this point. She got a lot going on in this outfit. I also don't know what this gold piece is supposed to represent here, but holy hell, it is very pretty. I I don't know what it's supposed to represent. All right, and then you got the sleeves, very elegant, very beautiful, coming out of that base white shirt that I was geeking out about before, very pretty. But I love that, like, around the belts that she has around her her upper arm here, the back of them actually have like 6 like mini dot studs on the back. It's a really tiny detail, but I actually really, really like those tiny studs on those belts. The asymmetrical glove design, nice. My eye is very drawn to her right hand personally. I love the flare out at the top, the beautiful lace design coming out of it. I would totally be fine with it if it was like the symmetry, like on both sides, but I'm also not too mad about like how that ended up being. It's pretty. I do like the extra fabric that's on top here, but like I kind of wish it was the same blue as somewhere else on the outfit rather than another different color on her outfit. Like some light blue, something else in her outfit just to tie it together a little bit better. All right, and then we moved down to the bottom of Jill's outfit, okay? Like the bottom, my least favorite part. Why do you have like 4 different skirts going on, girl? You don't need it. To break down the skirts, you have like the turquoise one that's just straight cut all the way around, and it laces in the back, kind of cute, kind of cool. But then the white cutting off in like the opposite diagonal direction of the belt. But then also the white section in the back is like a long, uneven piece. And they're not even connected. It's a panel in the front, a panel in the back. Literally, why? Getting to her boots though, her boots are genuinely beautiful. I want them for myself. I love them. Quickly gonna talk about like the semi-primed form. I love how the color scheme just goes like icy white. And then all she gets is like this floaty cape that just like hovers around her so epically. Capes are only acceptable if you are primed. Otherwise, no capes. All right, and I'm gonna quickly touch upon Shiva here. I actually didn't even know that like Shiva's, for once, not naked in this design in Final Fantasy XVI. It's actually like a bodysuit. The collar comes down. It's actually really, really beautiful. She has a really nice collar, a really nice crown design. Her hair pieces are my favorite thing because I personally will never cosplay characters that have extremely long hair. I hate it. The hair is wonderful because not only is it long, but I would actually cosplay because it's tamed. Like I love the ornate pieces that they put around the long hair. Cosplayers rejoice. I also want to mention that factoring in the details that they showed in the art book, they put so much detail into the bottom part of Shiva that I'm saying that it is meant to be Jill's belt reimagined. So I'm just gonna say because the art book supports me. Totally, that's what it means. All right, so the next character in the art book, we have Sid. The best Sid in all of Final Fantasy, don't at me. I love the uneven collar. It's the same pattern, not the pattern's uneven, but just how it lays. But holy crap, is this a bitch to sew, dude. But I find that his outfit actually kind of resembles like more of a jester from like medieval times. The undershirt like having stripes also adds to it, I think. Kind of fitting. The hottest thing on Sid are these shoulders. Like, hello, sweetie. I love these sharp shoulders, and I love that they are laced not once, but twice together. That is so hot, and I'm obsessed with it. And of course, as per Dill fashion, we have a very low, deep cut V in the front. Also, the open cuffs that just screams outlaw. Also, the metal notches that are outside of the collar and the notches lining the top of the undershirt, just everything is hot, everything is nice. Oh, I have to give a rating on the belt design. 2 belts for each sword, simple, practical, and hot. 10 out of 10. But now I want to quickly touch on Rama here, Ramu, however you say it. This is actually one of the most attracted versions of Rama I've also ever seen, and I don't know why. I just feel weird about it. It makes me question a lot of things. But I love like the super low hanging belt, man. And when you look at the back too, it's just like, I'm just wondering how it doesn't just like slide off of his hips. The crystal is probably like super stitched into the fabric. I just want to imagine that like Rama has like a really thick dumpy, okay? Moving on. Next on the list we have Benedicta. Yeah, the feathers along the collar represent Garuda, perfect. The golden nail polish, and she has, okay, look at her gloves, look at her gloves. She has extra bit of lace around the last 2 fingers of her hand. It's beautiful. I want these gloves, I want them. Also, like, the mosaic motif that you see, like, also in the inside lining of her skirts, is like, she also has this on her belt, like, she has it everywhere, these golden squares, sometimes silver, copper. They kind of remind me of, like, Delmechia, if anything. I don't really get like a Waloed vibe off of this at all, besides like maybe dark colors. It just kind of like screams like she represents a secret fire. Belt rating, 11 out of 10 for both being extremely practical and extra fashiony without being like too extra with adding some extra belts. Like, nah, it's great. All right, so Kupka, one of my least favorite designs in the game, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that the red underneath of the crisscrossing design on his chest was just see-through for the entirety of the game. He has reptile skin everywhere on his outfit. The legs, the pants are really boring, I'm not gonna lie. I guess it represents Delmechia well because Delmechia deserts mostly, I guess. The only thing that tells me he's Titan is basically his physical build, which might be enough. I just would like to see some of that in the clothing a little bit more. Because all he got is like a really nice blinged out belt. He also got all the rings, which are also equally really nice. He also has like a mustard yellow color on his collar that I don't quite understand. Like, please just make it gold. I will say the one thing I actually really do like about his design are the bottom of his boots. He got studs on his heels. Belt rating, 9 out of 10. I think the heavy ornate belt is very fitting for his outfit, but he does have an extra belt per tradition. It's just meh. And would you look at that, now we are to my favorite character in all of Final Fantasy XVI, Dion the Sage, Princely Dragoon. His main battle armor is exquisite. It's so like untraditional for being a Dragoon. Like if you're looking at this character, you are not thinking that he is a Dragoon. From battling the Imperial soldiers at the beginning of the game, you do battle Dragoons, and you see that they have a very ornate neck. I love how ornate it is and just how much it frames the face too. And that design is also carried into Dion. So like that's like the only resemblance of like Dragoon that you get out of his armor. They went with a full body chainmail with a dress skirt kind of thing that flares out at the bottom. But honestly, the bottom of that chainmail is so beautifully designed. I like that they kind of look like phoenix feathers. I just like that Dion and Joshua just have like designs that speak of how much they value each other. Speaking along that line, I want to point out Dion's earrings because they very much stand out. So Sombrek has like a very blue, dark, deep green, definitely on the cooler tone side. So it's really weird to look at Dion and be like, wow, your earrings are a bright red color. They are Rosarian earrings, and I think that that is adorable. If you did not point that out in Dion's character, it's so cute. But now we go to his normal princely attire when you take off the chainmail, his pants. Look at these pants and then look at them again. They are so pretty. I have never thought in my life to put embroidery around the thighs to like shape your ass, but that is genius. So I want you to pay close attention to the seam line in his pants. It comes out of his boot and is up the middle, in the front and back middle part. And then it arches into a rainbow here. This is just an extra seam line. I really like it. And now, equally, to show you an example of what a bad seam line looks like, this seam line that just like cuts across the top and like just frames the chest out, it's really just so straight and not attractive at all. I hate it. Anyway, the poofy sleeves that he has are really dorky, but they're just like kind of cute and they have a charm to them. I just love how they just like, they go like this. They're kind of cute. The boots, genuinely elegant and beautiful. I really love his boots a lot. And again, the studs on the bottom of his heel. Yes. Also, this shot, that's fashion.
Give the people what they want.
All right, so now we're gonna talk about Barnabussy. Barnabussy. This ain't fashion design, I guess, but I'm really obsessed with how fierce his Odin armor is. It's amazing. The pure regal blue cape and the just fierce gold on that cape design too is so pretty. The mask alone has so many like individual layers on it. It's just really hot. I'm sorry. All right, but anyway, let's get to the main outfit. That's what everyone wants to see and everyone wants to hear about. Man, you know, for being a very religious person that Barnabas is, absolutely sinful. What are you doing? It just has no right to be this fucking hot. Anyway, the royal blue of the shirt is absolutely fitting for a king. Royal blue has always been a royal color. It's very beautiful. I just love the accents that are along his collar, those little things that wrap around. I never really thought to do something like that to collars, but there are several of them and they are beautiful, and I love that little extra oomph that it gives to the shirt. And then he has a very hot, loose black shirt on top with 2 more blings near the shoulder. Just and you can't, of course, forget the super fancy version of a double belt design, okay? This guy just has one big long belt that wraps around him twice to prove that this guy has a massive dick. Also, his bottom half has still has a slight resemblance to like a clean equestrian look, which we're gonna get to in Sleipner's outfit later. Anyway, belts, 12 out of 10. Yes, my king. And now to look at the armored version of Barnabas, which is very interesting. Maybe it's me just overthinking this, but I see some elements of like typical jousting armor from back in medieval times. And I think it just ties to the fact that like Odin rides a horse. I also like when Barnabas puts on the helmet, he has like a ripped blue scarf that comes right out of his right shoulder. It's really pretty. I was very skeptical about this whenever I played the game, but the art book lays it out very clearly. The armor that Barnabas wears is exactly the same armor that Sleipner wears. Exactly the same model. The only differences are where you see the blue highlighted parts are extensions that don't exist on Sleipner's outfit. And then also on top of his helmet too, but interestingly with Sleipner, we'll get to that later, he actually has a mane on his helmet. All right, let's talk about Gav, who appears next in our art book. I used to hate Gav and his outfit, but the more I played and the more I studied, the more I have come to really appreciate Gav and his outfit. We're gonna start off with like his general outfit. Very orange color theme, which is very weird because like this orange theme you don't see like anywhere else. I do want to say that on Gav's outfit, it has a lot of like Dhalmekian reference. The orange colors is the same one that the soldiers in Dhalmekia have, and a lot of the diamond motifs on his arms could be either Sunbreck or Dhalmekia, but I kind of lean toward more of Dhalmekia. Also, like, your thighs? Gav? What is this fashion you got going down here? I just want an explanation. I don't understand what's going on here. But I also want to note that Gav does get the double belt treatment, which means that he is basically a main character if you get a double belt. That's a big deal. And the last thing that I did not notice about Gav until the very last second looking at the art book, they pointed out that Gav actually wears a Moogle necklace. So your boy Gav is a Moogle fan, which means he's super based and probably now your favorite character if he wasn't before. You're welcome. Mid. I love about maybe 60% of her design. It's just a whole lot of like, you look at this outfit and you just question why. The bright red scarf at the top is cute, but why? Her outfit isn't bad per se, it's cute. But good fashion design in a video game is supposed to represent your character well. If I look at her at a glance, the only thing I see is like, I get that she's like kind of playful vibe maybe, and then she has her little hammer mallet on her back. If she didn't have that hammer set in the back pouch there, I would have never known that she was an engineer, which is, in my opinion, bad character design. And because the meaning of this outfit like really frustrates me a lot, I'd like to think that the blue matches Sid's undershirt. If you look really closely at Sid's undershirt, I want to say that that blue matches. Like I want to see some resemblance between the two. And I am going through Mid's and Sid's outfit like a fine-tooth comb and I'm not seeing anything. But I'm also wondering if that was done on purpose for the game designers, because I recently found out through the Final Fantasy XVI lore book, it says that they are not actually blood related, like Sid adopted Mid, which I had assumed that Mid was Benedicta and Sid's daughter for a long time. But no, she's adopted and we do not know her parents. So I guess that makes sense that Maybe they can use that as an excuse as to why Mid's outfit has none of Sid representation on it whatsoever. Also, why are there like little frills hanging out of the one section on the front? I don't understand. I love this blouse, this little shirt. It's genuinely really cute. I love the red straps and how they tie together with lace similar to this shirt here. I also want to think that the lacing design on the left side is supposed to resemble Sid's ties and his shoulder design as well. I'm just really grasping at straws here. The different shades of red checkerboard at the bottom, I just want to know why. Like, answer the question why for the majority of this outfit. The half glove is like, all right, I guess. The boots, okay, the boots, the legs. Why is one boot shorter than the other? Why is there a piece of like a little strip of skin showing here and not on the others? What? Just give me an answer as to why you did this. And I'm not sure about the choice of having like orange ties around her hair. I guess it kind of can represent her university in a way, the University of Canberra that she went to, but still I think that's a stretch. I just feel really bad for Mid because as a character, I feel like she deserves a better fashion design that represents her character a little bit more and gives a little bit more meaning. In the end of the day, I get more of a story out of Vivian's outfit than I do Mid's. And that shouldn't happen. Also, no belt treatment on Mid basically tell me that she's a side character that doesn't matter to the devs at all, which makes sense for the fashion design that they decided to give her as well. Checks out. All right, we're gonna quickly touch upon Harpocrates here because I love Harpocrates. I just want to point out his little hat. If you didn't really look at it in detail, it's like filled with like it's like a patchwork type of hat, just stitched together. And the little pouch brooch is like just way too adorable. I just love it. I love the blue on his outfit as well, and I just want to hope that he wears that because he used to teach Dion as a kid and used to teach in Sombrec in general. So the blue, I think, makes sense for his character. Harpocrates, super cute, beautiful design. Okay, so Charon is like strangely full of drip. The top lighter purple shawl thing is genuinely beautiful. The nice embroidery on her sleeves, it kind of reminds me of like the ass embroidery on Dion's pants that he has. Don't ask me why, they look the same to me. If you put these pictures side by side, I'm pretty sure I am way off, but I actually didn't look at them side by side. Best of all, Charon has a thick double belt, which basically means Charon is a main character. One last thing before we get off of Charon. Charon is the only character in the Final Fantasy XVI art book that looks completely different to how she is in the game. They didn't even put Charon's final model in the art book. They just have this picture in the art book. She looks nothing like this in the game. I don't know what they were thinking here, but I had to share it. All right, and next on the list, we go down to Tharja. I love Tharja's outfit compared to most in the Hideaway. It's just so elegant and so beautiful. I love the open lacing that's separating her arm pieces. The loose fabric around the shoulders adds to like the elegance that she has. Being a healer, it just comes across really, really well in her design. And then, one thing I never noticed is that she gets a costume change. She is one of the only characters in the Hideaway that gets a costume change after the time skip. She still has an air of elegance in her outfit, but she has this like nice leather, beautiful design that shows that she had to learn to fight. I still like the older design better, but I understand why they had to change it for her. All right, the next character you never thought was going to have as much to talk about is Vivian. Vivian has my favorite fashion out of everybody in the Hideaway. Also, I just want to point out that this coat that she's wearing kind of reminds me of like the Plague Doctor's coat in Final Fantasy XIV, if you know what that coat looks like. I love the black strip in the back that connects the right and left sides of the coat. I love that the red earrings match the red gem in the center of her collar here, like very, very beautiful. I love the purple leather on the top. So she has a purple coat, right? But she also has like a strip of light purple leather that comes down the sides. But I also do want to point out that I hate that the seam lines don't match up. So she's got this like patch of leather here, and she got a patch of leather going down the sleeve, but the seam lines don't match up. And that's such a small thing to note, but it really bothers me, so I'm gonna make it bother you too. But also the same purple is also down the center with where her buttons are. Just very, very beautiful use of purples here. The inside lining of the embroidery, like, hello. Also, functional pockets in her outfit. Probably not. It's women's clothing. It's never functional pockets ever. The undershirt, I wish we could ever see it, like with Vivian's coat off, what it looks like. The collar is really majestic, but I want to say that it's like a more Dalmatian kind of symbol there. I am not sure. The leather part that's on the bottom of her right side of the coat and it's not on the left side, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, it's nice, but I don't know if I wish it was on both sides or maybe smaller. Also, the inside buttons on the end of her sleeves to the gold pin at the end. Sheesh, Vivian. The only thing I'm really not crazy about is like the bottom. I look at Vivian and I'm like, girl, are you over designed? Like, I don't know, is this over designed? Do you think it is? I just want to note that she says in the game that her homeland is like twin-sided Sombrec, but her outfit doesn't say that at all. If I looked at Vivian, I would guess that she was Dalmatian, and she honestly looks like she's like a long-lost princess of Dalmatia. That's what she looks like. And you remember in the game, whenever you meet her, Vivian literally says that she has had 3 attempted assassinations on her life.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life.
Which never gets an explanation why, by the way. Like, why are people trying to assassinate you? Well, based off of her outfit, I think that she was a princess of Dalmatia, a long-lost one who then just went and lived in Sombrec for some reason. Like, Vivian's got a story, man. And I love that. I could tell that just by looking at her outfit. All right, so next on the list, we got Mr. Daddy Rosfield himself. I can immediately see where Clive gets his twunk figure from. The very phoenixy embroidery design on his outfit is just honestly to die for. I love it so much. It actually reminds me straight up of like the Final Fantasy XVI logo theme. The shoulder having like pointy arrow ends. It kind of reminds me of like the top of the pillars of like castles. The endless layer of pleats in the bottom is just extremely attractive too, just gonna say that. Especially them being at like different levels too. I love the amount of asymmetrical design in Elwin's outfit, and that also crosses over to Anabella's loungewear as well. In the one scene there they have loungewear. Very jealous of their outfits, by the way. Which again has the phoenix embroidery on the left side of that outfit, which is kind of crazy. But one extra thing that I want to note that is only seen in the art book from what I remember is that Elwin's sword actually has a phoenix feather hanging off of the right side of the sword. Pretty cool. But also, to look at Daddy Rosfield's belt design. Big, thick, hanging off of the hip. Oh, 10 out of 10. You are a king. Unfortunately, next we have to talk about Anabella. She sucks, but damn does her outfits look unfortunately really nice. The embroidery around the neckline has the phoenix feathers. She has the red earrings of Rosaria. I like the hairpins, honestly. I just don't know what they're supposed to mean or represent. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a phoenixy vibe. But generally, I just want to say, as far as like color scheme goes for Anabella, you know, Rosaria is very much represented by red, Sombrec is very much represented by blue, and we all know what happens to Anabella in the game. So I think it is very fitting for the use of purple in her outfit for multiple reasons. Not just that the combination of red, blue of Sombrec and Rosaria make purple, but also purple tends to represent royalty. It's honestly perfectly used in her outfit. Purple was the best choice that they could have done here. I may be looking too deep into it, but like her upper arms have like a diamond motif out of it. Could be Sombrec, it's seen there a little bit, but also I like the idea that she has a bit of every kingdom in her outfit because it kind of reminds me of Dalmatia a little bit in design. So I just like to imagine that she has no allegiance to anyone in the game. If you're a pureblood, she will absolutely have your baby. On her upper sleeve, there is a club. It stands out too much for me to ignore. So I did what a normal person would do. Clubs represent fall, winter, night, darkness, fire, energy, will, wealth, work, luck, and happiness. And fire and wealth! All right, and now we move on to Sombrec outfit. The first immediate thing I noticed, the curve of the top of the blouse along the hips has a rainbow curve to it, just like the bottom of Dion's skirt. Overall, the blue is surely more Sombrec in Anabella's design here, but it's a little bit on the darker shade, so I want to say that they used a darker tone to like simplify her villainous a little bit to go darker. And she got a nice like purple frill along her collars, so it's kind of nice. She has more purple throughout her like body, I think to show that she has like still has her ties to Rosaria. That only being Joshua is the only thing she ever cared about. Kind of sad. The earrings, dead giveaway of that. She has Bahamut symbols everywhere on this outfit, okay? She loves Bahamut. Not Dion, just Bahamut. On her back, she got one in the center back. She got two on the side of her skirt embroidery. She got two along her shoulders here as well. But I'm obsessed with like the pattern of the top here though. Like, it's just so nice. Everything just looks pretty. Ew. Best boy Uncle Byron is next. And one thing I actually didn't know until looking at the art book is if you put a picture of Uncle Byron and Elwin side by side, they wear the exact same coat. I had no idea. The only difference I think that is very interesting to note is the amount of closures down the front of their outfits. So Byron has 4 closures and Elwin has 5 closures. Kind of reminds me like in the military when they use stars to represent their rank. I don't know if that's what that's supposed to mean, but that's what I think of it. Besides, obviously, Elwin has the phoenix embroidery on his coat. You don't get to see the undercollar too much, but I'm imagining that it's like stamped leather and it's really pretty and I like it and I want to see more of it. Just take off your coat, Uncle Byron. We want to see what's underneath. Uncle Byron is such a cool character that he gets triple belt action, baby. He is top tier main character for this game. It's thick and the closure splits into 3 places with half-inch belts, which is like 12 out of 10 on your belt design, Uncle Byron. You deserve it. You're a Giga Chad. All right, so we are getting to one of my favorite designs in this whole game, Sleipner. And the reason why it's one of my favorite is because I truly think it is one of the most clever designs in the game. Sleipner is Odin's horse, and his outfit, it's equestrian attire. It reminds me of like the fabric you put over or put under the saddle on a horse. And then this belt, this really thick thing that just like sits over his shoulder, reminds me of like a saddle on a horse. That's what I think that they were going for with this design. It's just genuinely so genius. But one thing that I also really appreciate about that kind of gives me more of that vibe is that his sleeves lay over his arm and they're not stitched underneath like our sleeves typically are in clothing. It just lays over. Also like a really, really tiny detail, but like on his back, there's like a little chain. I love the little chain that just like connects it. I don't know, small thing. I like that little tiny piece. It's such a beautiful design. And also the fact that he has one braid, this is more character design than fashion design, but he has like one braid hanging down too. And they do that with their horses too. Also like the wrappings around the bottom of Sleipner's outfit. It kind of reminds me of like whenever athletes wrap their wrists like sports tape type of thing. Any like equestrians out there, like do they do that to horses too, to like wrap up their ankles? And also I love that this shot clearly shows the bright blue color of his earrings. That's Barnabussy right there. But yeah, overall, if you were obsessed with Sleipner before, I hope that your appreciation for this character just went up by like 5,000 times. You're welcome. Next in the art book, we have Olivier, which no one wants to talk about. Yeah, he looks nice for like a brat. He gets a sash instead of like cool belt treatment, so that means he's an unimportant character, and we can just move on. The one character that the Final Fantasy XVI art book is missing is actually Sylvestre, who has like a very interesting outfit that I have no idea why they didn't put him in the book at all. But anyway, I will put out Sylvestre's outfit here and I will appreciate it because I absolutely do. I love his collar. I can't stop looking at like the pretty embroidery and the golden chain closure in the front, like very, very pretty. The necklace, it's like beautiful, but like, oof, I have so many questions. There's like a random extra line of jewelry hanging off on the right side of the necklace. I don't know why, but it's just like kind of there. The black gems in there too, I want to say represent like he's slowly switching to the dark side, being influenced by Anabella. He's a bitch. Also, I mentioned before, like the cut of the shape of the coat at the bottom matches Dion's and Anabella's outfit. They all have that similar cut to them. The gauntlets, let's talk about the gauntlets for a second. The ends of them match the shoulder seams on Dion's outfit, actually. The frilly accordion like ends over the hand. It's just so pretty and so nice. And the lace on the elbow end is like really pretty too. I just also hate that. I hate whenever like bad characters get my attention with good fashion design because I don't want to like it, but I do. And of course he's wearing turquoise to represent Sombrec colors. To end with Sylvestre, for some reason he gets double belt treatment, just like Elwin does, but it doesn't work for Sylvestre. You don't need a double belt, bro. Just because you're the king, you're not that important. All right, I'll briefly mention Jote here because the design is just really, really pleasant. She got like nice brown leathers, then the blue left hanging off of the shoulder. Like everything on her is just so flattering and practical without telling me much about her character, which is the literal point. You're not supposed to be getting much information off of her outfit. I just love her little detail, like right here on the leather belt that just like holds up her little pouch hanging up on the left. And Jote gets a 10 out of 10 belt design for having a heckin' long belt. Quick note on Eloise is I just love the extra fabric that like just dangles over the shoulder on the seam, like beautiful. Eloise is just such a gorgeous character. And the last character in the art book that I would like to address is the most interesting one, Kihel. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. I'm convinced that this poultice girl is Leviathan the Lost.
Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Her outfit has a ripped up blue-green scarf. It kind of reminds me of the color of water, and the ripped up part being something like kind of like the fin of Leviathan. Totally not a stretch. It's also extremely suspicious that Kihel is the one character in this art book that has 4 different designs. This very random side character girl has so many different looks. They're not even remotely the same look too. I want to say that she gets this much attention because she's not just a side character. Oh no, she is Leviathan the Lost. That's right, Kihel, the meaning of the word Kihel means born of water, okay? You wanna look at all the times that she has shown up? It's with Clive, Joshua, Dion, and Jill. Dominants sense each other. She unknowingly is geared toward helping fellow dominants. Another fact for you.
Hold it! I may not be as fashionably inclined as Miss Crystal over here, but if I know one thing, it's a damn good looking alien. And Ultima, he's got it going. Whoa, 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 hold up! Bro has 4 arms, but no belt? Get this loser off of my screen.
Alright, and for the very last section of this video, I'm just going to point out some other NPC notes that don't appear in the art book, but I would like to give attention to because they are beautiful. Actually, they do kind of make a little bit of appearance in the art book, some of these. But, moving on, the Sombrec slave soldiers. They have a little bit of scale mail at the top, and it changes to leather at the chest for mobility. It is peak, and I love functionality. It looks good. I also love this whole opening sequence telling the player about the war going on in the beginning of Final Fantasy XVI. I really love how the costume designers of this game incorporated medieval clothing within Final Fantasy. Like the opening kill is coming from a person that is very much dressed in a traditional warrior berserker job outfit with the heavy furs and wielding the axe, and then immediately after you get this shot from the Damekian soldiers doing a black mage looking spell. As a longtime Final Fantasy fan, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda geeked out about this. Also, you can see like the diamond motif in the Republican soldier outfit more clear in the skirt, which matches the next villain roundtable scene with the nobles having it on their embroidery. Alright, this would not be a Final Fantasy XVI drip video if I did not talk about the Sombrec Dragoons, because these Dragoons are the hottest designed Dragoons that I have ever seen. Why does this game go so hard on Dragoon design? Seriously, this armor is so hot. Honestly, the only thing that's weird to me is like the super flat thigh armor. It's like not rounded at the sides, it's just flat. But I love how extra the shoulders are. I mentioned this in Dion's outfit, how like the shoulders are so extra and they frame the face so well, but it's not like hindering their movement at all. It's just such a nice, beautiful touch. And I like the knee armor. It's hilariously circling back out the back, like really far back, so that like whenever you bend your knee, you actually have more mobility. As a cosplayer, I can appreciate attention to detail on actually being mobile in the armor that you're wearing. It is a crime that the book does not include Martha, so I will include Martha. The greens on Martha are just so nicely blended together. The red sash around the belt that matches her headband. She's just so nice and I love her outfit and I just want to appreciate her. Also, why does this scarf design look like a big, long, like, hot dog with mustard on it? For this random Imperial champion, they got a lot of extra things. The spikes around like the right bicep, sure. The pointed hoods always get me though. They just don't seem fitting for Imperials, especially when they aren't a mage, which you typically see that style with. All right, I actually love this Dalmatian spy so much. Without words at all, I can immediately tell from his clothes that he is a Dalmatian. Big rings, lots of bling overall. Prime example of good fashion design when clothes tell me everything I need to know about a bad guy without needing to specifically see a scene, who they're talking to, just tell right off of their clothes. Moving on to the Dame, Isabella. One of my favorite NPC outfits in general. She's just gorgeous. Largely, I'm just a sucker for this color palette because the light purple with the dark purple underbust corset to the sky blue ends, it's just a very pleasant color scheme and they go together so well. She got gorgeous golden bracelets for the bicep, and then the complement with a thin gold belt around the waist and her necklace as well, just beautifully put together. Prettiest color palette in the whole game. Woo! This random knight looks super awesome. I love the gauntlets that like match the theme of like Kupka's and Benedicta's copper golden mosaic kind of tile look. Why does the shoulder armor get so much fucking detail though? The pointy helmet is also kind of cute. And last but not least, we cannot forget the most important character ever that has the best fashion, no question about it, Torgal. Thank you for watching.
The NPC enemies will be like, get the hot one with the fat tits and broody bedroom eyes. And I'll know they're talking about Clive and not Jote.